so bad.
Yeah.
Again, normally you mulligan and it's like, I've got a disadvantage. I've got one less card. That means my card quality is lower and I'm going to lose on card advantage eventually.
Uh-huh.
Alexander forces that issue instantly with this deck.
Oh, yeah.
Take your best card. Okay, now you have 2 cards that matter. All right. Now I will play Liliana of the Veil.
Yeah.
Now you do not get to play cards ever again.
Yep. Dan kept on I think a 4-land hand, and it seems kind of shaky, but he knows that he can't go down any farther.
Alexander missing his turn 1 discard. Gonna opt instead to play Noble Hierarch. I like this play from Dan. He did not use his Thought Scour end of turn. Instead, waits for the main phase to draw, see what he's going to get, and then he casts his Serum Visions.
Twice, mind you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you'd never cast just one. Why would you do that? Man, how many basics is Dan running?
A lot.
It looks like it because he...
I mean, he's on 2 colors, so you don't need a lot, right? You need like 8 fetch lands, 4 shock lands, maybe 4 fast lands, and then the rest basics.
Yeah.
Like, if that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on a deck that runs like 9 basics.
Yeah.
In this format, so I get it. But this deck normally would have a dual land in play by now.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't draw it, especially, he mulligans, so sometimes you just got to keep the hands.
Dan has white cards in the board, so that could be a reason why. Interesting. Interesting.
That is very interesting.
I don't think that's common for these decks, unless I'm just an idiot. Entirely possible.
Yeah, 1 Celestial per 2 Path Exile. I mean, they're reasonable cards to have.
Yeah.
A little odd that he does have this many basics then.
Yeah.
Unless he just drew all of his basics.
Top deck. Lightning Bolt.
Well, he already knew it. He Serum Visioned it to the top.
Yeah. And that Lightning Bolt going to look pretty rough here. Obviously, he'd like to take down Tarmogoyf with that. That's not going to happen, though. That's just not how this works.
Right.
If he were to cast Lightning Bolt there instead of Thought Scour, Lightning Bolt would have dealt 3 damage to Tarmogoyf, gone to the graveyard, and then state-based actions would have been checked. And we would have seen that actually now Tarmogoyf is not a 2-3 anymore, but rather a 3-4.
Yeah.
And it has 3 damage marked on it, and it lives.
Right.
So, not at all what Dan wanted there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only reason he kept that Lightning Bolt on top is because it easily triggers the Phoenix.
Yep.
And he was able to put Phoenix beneath it so he knew he could mill it with Thought Scour.
Yeah.
If he puts Phoenix directly on top, he has to draw the Phoenix.
Yeah.
And that's just not as reliable.
Yeah, and just being able, like, I think Dan's plan here is just kind of, especially since Alexander doesn't seem to have any interaction.
No.
Yeah, his plan is, like, just turn the corner.
Oh, jeez. That's rough. He was going to bring back 1, and it was going to be, like, a little rough for Alexander, but, he was still going to be in it.
Yeah.
And then
2.
Dan, Faithless Looting, just the last spell, found the other one and pitched it instantly.
Right.
As you do. I mean, you can never really put only 1 into play.
You're right. I think Alexander is still fine here. He has a lot of removal, and the one big card I think in this matchup is Lingering Souls.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially since Dan is going to be feeding Alexander's Tarmogoyfs.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be hitting back pretty hard too, which is like something that I think Dan would be good against Jund for, because they don't put that clock on super fast.
No, not as much.
Right. So Dan would be able to, like, pretty consistently, over the course of like 4 or 5 turns, be able to do whatever. Whereas like Alexander is like, no, you have like 2, 3 maybe.
Yep. Alexander here now going to deploy Liliana of the Veil, minus her to get one of those Phoenixes off the board. Likely going to lose Liliana here, but he's going to save himself out on some damage and beef up his Tarmogoyf in the process.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to make Dan spend more spells here to try to get it back.
Yep. And once he's spent a certain amount of spells,
it's really hard to get him back.
Yep. And then he's just out of gas, never going to get these Phoenixes back again.
Yep. Unfortunately, Dan's hand is like the Jumpstart card, double Lightning Bolt, Gut Shot. All right. Just, oops, I killed you from 13.
Yeah.
Wow. That was pretty crazy.
Jesus.
Alright, sideboards here. Izzet Drakes, 3 Abrade, 1 Snapcaster Mage, 2 Spell Pierce, 1 Ceremonious Rejection, 1 Dispel, 1 Surgical Extraction, 1 Sweltering Suns, 1 Alpine Moon, 1 Celestial Purge, 2 Path Exile, and 1 Ral Izzet Viceroy. That was a mouthful. That's a lot of cards.
Yeah. I think the cards he's bringing in here, Ral Izzet Viceroy, Snapcaster Mage, perhaps the Path to Exiles. That's about it.
Yeah. There's really not a huge amount of things that he wants to be doing. He might... I mean, he could try to, like, really hedge against Alexander and bring in the Surgical to try to hit, like, a Lingering Souls or something, you know?
Nah.
But, yeah, I don't see it happening.
The best interaction Dan's deck has with surgical extraction is when you play Crackling Drake and then surgical your own card.
Yeah, to get an extra 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. It basically becomes
in this
Phyrexian mana giant growth.
Permanent.
Yeah. Alright, over on Alexander's side, 3 Fulminator Mages, 1 Kalidas Trader of Get, 2 Surgical Extraction, 1 Collective Brutality, 1 Damnation, 1 Maelstrom Pulse, 2 Nihil Spellbomb, 1 Engineered Explosives, 1 Damping Sphere, and 2 Stony Silence. There's a lot that can come in here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see, at the very least, Surgical Extractions and Nihil Spellbombs.
Yep, I could also see Kalidas, because Kalidas says whenever a creature goes from them from anywhere, right? Or is it the battlefield?
Just dies.
Okay. But even still, that's still good.
Yep. Another card I could also see is Damping Sphere. Going to make it very difficult for Dan to ever get a Drake back, because he will, even if he plays 3 1-mana spells,
yeah,
he's going to pay 1, and then he's going to pay 2, and then he's going to pay 3, and he'll have to pay 6 mana to get 1 Drake back with 3
you mean
spells.
Phoenix?
Or yeah, sorry. And like that's really hard to fight through.
Yeah, that seems very doable. EE seems not great.
Nope.
No Fulminator Mages. Brutality is... Well, it's a 3-2, right? Phoenix is a 3-2?
Correct. So Brutality kills it, recoups him on some life, and can grab a card.
Yeah.
So it might be a pickup. Not sure.
Yeah. I mean, he's bringing in a bunch of 1-ofs, so... Or 1 and 2-ofs. So I could definitely see him bringing out some stuff like maybe Thoughtseize.
Yeah. Although picking apart like some crucial cards from Dan's hand,
but I think I'm pretty sure he's on Inquisitions. So just like switching out some of the ones that cost him life might be a good thing.
We're gonna see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Alexander knows so much more than I ever could.
It's true.
Dan taking his time, making sure everything's perfect.
Come on, Dan.
Oh, puts the card back in. What card did he want?
I wonder if he has a like one of like Sacred Foundry?
Perhaps.
Hallowed Fountain?
More likely a Hallowed Fountain.
You think so? You think blue is more prominent than red in this deck?
I think so. Especially in the early turns.
Sure.
You play Faithless Looting, Lightning Bolt is interaction, and then otherwise you're like pretty heavy on blue cantrips in your early turns.
I'm pretty sure I saw him take out a land.
Yeah. Which is weird.
We're out here talking about standard and Bant Nexus and how I dealt 9 damage to my opponent with the Smothering Tides treasures. Yeah.
Jeez. They're shuffling forever.
Dan top 64 the Open with Bant Nexus this weekend.
Congratulations to Dan. Top 64 with Bant Nexus.
Bad deck.
Deck is busted.
Needs a ban.
How do you ever beat it? You can't own the cards for yourself.
Zero Nexus decks in the top 32. At least one in the top 64, though.
When will there be a feature where I can type in a deck and just know if it's good or bad?
I think they have that. It's called MTG Top 8.
No. I give you an entire deck list and it goes,
This deck sucks.
this deck is awful. Why would you ever play this?
We also have that. It's called AJ.
Ah, you're right. Except I want it to be accurate.
Oh, damn.
AJ out here, not on board. Every time we build a tier 0 new deck,
He's always like, man, why would you play any of these cards ever?
I cannot understand a single world wherein you would play Frilled Mystic in Standard or in Modern.
How many people are there today? I'm not sure. We're not like super heavy on people. Probably like between 20 and 30, I think. I wasn't able to get an official count. Oh, I guess we're asking the Dans. Alright, here we go. Starting off, Alexander Gabriel, Inquisition of Kozilek. Again, Dan's on a mulligan, so here we go. Mulligan with 1 land. He has Faithless Looting, though, and Opt. Oh, he did bring in the Surgical. I wonder if he brought it in more for himself or for Alexander.
Takes Faithless Looting.
Yeah.
Big hit.
Yeah.
Dan not going to be able to sculpt his hand, get rid of some of the weaker cards here. Also gets really no option on who for the medal is. What?
What?
I think I just completely passed out in the middle of speaking. I'm so tired. Dude, I started working at like 4 in the morning today. I've never been so tired right now as I am.
I think you need to get up and walk around there, guy.
Straight up died. What? I don't even know what I was saying.
You just had like an aneurysm there.
I'm like wide awake now because I feel like an idiot.
This will be immortalized forever.
Takes a card. We're getting rid of these cards.
All right, Dan. Surgicals, Extractions, the Inquisition of Kozilek. Now Dan is looking through the rest of Alexander's deck to...
He wants to know exactly what he sideboarded.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to know exactly what he's got to worry about now. He needs to know exactly what's going on.
Yep. Looks like Alexander's hand is Liliana, 3 lands, Tarmogoyf. A little slow.
That's pretty bad.
It's a little slow. Although Dan's hand is also terrible. So,
well, yeah,
he just drew a second land, so not quite. I mean,
we got there.
It's not like super great because he doesn't have Faithless Looting to, like,
got there.
Get the train going, but
he got there.
Yeah,
dude.
it's fine. Never punished.
No, I mean, why would you ever be punished?
Right.
This is the modern format. No one punishes anybody in this format.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for punishment, you're going to have to look elsewhere, such as Legacy or Commander.
Right.
Formats where people punish each other.
Right. Or like Draft, as we were drafting earlier, and I sat next to AJ and showed him my opening hand. Had 0 white sources in it, and like all white cards. And he was just like, that's terrible. I was like, nah, man, we're going to get there. Turn 1.
You did not.
No, I did. Top decked, First draw I got in Azorius Guildgate.
Legendary.
Yeah, I was like, see, exactly.
Got it.
Tarmogoyf. That is currently a 3-4? Yeah, 3-4.
Yep. Gonna be chunking Dan shortly.
Yeah.
Especially when Liliana comes down. Liliana's gonna come down, start putting real cards in the bin. Then we're gonna get in for chunks at a time.
Yep. Especially if Dan decides to answer the Liliana, and that's another card.
Yep.
That'll actually boost it. Dan playing with an upside down hand. That tilts me to no end.
It's not even fully upside down.
I think what it is that he's keeping the cards Alexander knows upside down.
So that way he.
So he has a mental check to know like what he knows and what he doesn't.
Sure.
And being that he has all black matte sleeves, Alexander can't tell.
Yeah, no, he has no idea what's what and what's not.
Right, chart of course. No, whatever you would call it, raid trigger.
Yeah, we should keep stats like that.
Win percent with turn 1 Thoughtseize.
100.
Pretty close.
Yeah, it feels like it. Interesting from Dan here. He knows about Liliana of the Veil.
Yep.
He has
Celestial Purge.
Yeah, and a Manamorphose to make the mana for it.
Is that how he's casting his white spells? Is literally just Manamorphose?
I don't think so. I don't think it's only off Manamorphose, but he has Manamorphose to make the mana.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. He does have Lighting Axe as well. Doesn't seem, or actually seems fine here, because he can still kill the Tarmogoyf with it.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is I think he should be holding up Manamorphose, so that way if Alexander does play Liliana, he goes, replace my Manamorphose, Celestial Purge, Liliana, so it won't grow your Goyf.
Right.
And I still got rid of Liliana.
Yeah.
Of course, Alexander...
Second Goyf.
Yeah, he knows about Celestial Purge. He's not going to play Liliana into that.
Yeah, not if he doesn't have to.
Oh, no way does he have to yet.
Dan over here still on 3 lands. A little awkward for him. He can get rid of one of these Tarmogoyfs.
Yeah.
And all that's in there is Land Instant Sorcery right now.
I believe so.
See, I think the problem also is that if he wants to Lighting Axe one of these guys, he has to either grow the other one by ditching the Phoenix, or the Drake in his hand, or something he really wants either in Manamorphose or Celestial Purge.
Yeah.
So if he gets rid of Celestial Purge, he can't answer the Lily, and if he gets rid of Manamorphose, he can't cast the Celestial Purge.
Yeah.
He's just kind of in a really awkward spot with his hand right now. They all do decent things. They're just kind of not good enough. Grimflare.
Grimflare, no Delirium yet.
Yep. He's probably going to fire off the Celestial Purge now. He can't just hold on and do nothing.
Well, I mean, he could, but...
Ooh, 1 gate deck in the top 32. Yep. Celestial Purge,
Gates
exile
has
it.
confirmed the better meme. I like meming. For those of you who know me, that's something I definitely like to participate in.
Me as well. We are the meme team.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch out for our tier 0 brew coming to you shortly.
Yeah, in the modern format.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we'll have a standard one soon too, but...
Yeah, if we ever get out of this booth, that is.
Yeah, I mean... Who knows when that will happen. I have dreams of this room. Sitting in here alone. The Gates deck is on Mass Manipulate. Alright.
Why?
That's big memeing.
How? How is that card even playable? Like, in a Gates deck?
Got 20th place.
20th place? Let me look at this deck.
Right here.
Oh, is it just because you're ramping with Circuitous Route?
Yeah.
So you play Hydroid Crisis and Mass Manipulation?
So you're just on ramp?
Gates Ablaze and Expansion Explosion Guild Summon.
Expansion Explosion. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why
You
are we
could-
not playing Primal Amulet?
I mean, maybe we should.
Yeah. You get to, like, after you flip it, you get to double your Circuitous Routes?
Yeah. I'm building a Sanguine Sacrament deck with both Azor's Gateway and Primal Amulet. Oh, jeez. Haha, oops. I have just pentupled my life total. Next turn, I will draw Sanguine Sacrament and do it again. And Wilderness Reclamation. All right, Dan, you're going too deep now.
I will end step, trigger on untapping my lands. I will tap my Azor, whatever the flip version is, for 30 mana. And then the rest of my 10 lands, untap them all, retap them again, play Sanguine Sacrament.
Gain a billion life, hold up Expansion Explosion. Using Primal Amulet, I will copy the spell.
I will deal you 50.
No. Then you expansion it. And you copy your expansion because you also cast it with the Primal Amulet land.
Yeah.
Because you untapped with Wilderness Reclamation, so you had two mana from it.
Right.
And now you get 3 copies of Sanguine Sacrament. No, 4 copies of Sanguine Sacrament. That are all for X's like 12. Or even more. Right, 4 color, right, white, blue, green. And there's such thing as 2 deep with standard jank. Alright, my man.
Alright, back to the real game. Alexander cleaning this up pretty handily.
Yeah.
Turns out hand disruption's really good.
Yeah, turns out that the deck that actually interacts favorably.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. His first hand was a little sketchy. It didn't have any interaction in it. It was just like Tarmogoyf and Lily, and it was just like, eh.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he might not have known what Dan was on, even though I'm pretty sure Dan's been on this deck for a while. Like, at least like a couple weeks.
Yeah, these guys don't switch decks a lot. Alexander never. Dan,
Pretty
not
rare.
that often.
Yeah.
Definitely remember him in the format with right before the Rampaging Frostodon ban, playing against me at some other store, and complaining about how Mono Red was so busted, even though that was the deck he was on. And I was like, you're telling me, kiddo.
Yeah.
This deck is busted.
And then Teamer Energy.
Yeah.
Or 4-color Energy, actually.
That deck was sweet.
The deck was busted.
It was. I wish everything else was up to the power level of that instead of this deck being the sweetest deck in the format and by far the best.
Yeah, by far.
There was no reason to play anything else.
Pretty much. I mean, there was like the mono red deck, but meh.
Yeah, and then they banned the cards for Teamer Energy, and it was like, oops, mono red, the thing that was sort of keeping this in check, really good now.
Really good now. Dan's over here on Moldy Jeskai.
Moldy Jeskai?
Yeah.
Nah, he's on Spicy Bant.
Spicy Bant? Alright.
Wet Naya?
Hell yeah. Moist Naya.
Moist Naya. Man, you ever play Moist Jund?
Ew. That just sounds bad.
Moist Jund is perhaps the best 4-color combination of all time. Here's why.
Moist zombies. Why is that?
Because you have access to all of the early game pressure of Jund.
Uh-huh.
And then you get counter spells.
That sounds bad.
Yeah. Shut up. Don't act like you know what you're talking about. You've never played Moist Jund.
You're right, I have not played Moist Jund before.
Moist Jund, easily the best archetype of all time. Lightning Bolt on the Noble Hierarch, as the kids liked to call that back in '94.
Bolt
the bird. Get him out of here.
Yep. What would you call a deck splashing white? A 3-color deck splashing white?
You refer to it by anything else.
Anything else? You just don't use white?
Yeah, you'd never use white as an identifier because otherwise it's just like
Bright?
vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla. I don't know, because if you use black, it's dark, right? It's just like dark, like dark Jeskai.
Yeah.
Or dark Naya.
Vanilla Jund.
Vanilla Jund. That just sounds like you just. All right, I'm playing Jund.
Yeah, I know that's the problem.
Yeah.
Creamy Jund.
Creamy Jund. All right, I can get behind that.
Real creamy.
Real creamy.
Anybody in chat, feel free to say shit to keep me awake.
Yeah. This guy over here, I'm over here like slapping the shit out of him, and he's just falling asleep.
Oh wow, that's nice. Thank God for the Reddit notification that has appeared on our screen.
From
There's a Reddit notification on your screen.
There is.
It says someone replied to
The Bant list is almost card for card something.
Why are you able to see notifications? Why are there notifications?
I don't know.
Listen,
Notifications enabled on anything.
listen, Andrew. I'm gonna kick your ass.
How does Cascade and Spectacle work? Like if I were to Bloodbraid into Rex Madi, you cannot cast alternative casting costs, right?
No, so you have one alternative casting cost you can use, which is free. And if you don't use free, Cascade says you can't cast it at all. So that's your special thing, and that's it.
Yep.
You get to Cascade into it, and that's it. You don't get to cast the Spectacle cost, which normally doesn't matter, but for benefits, like Rix Madi,
What isn't Rix Madi? What does that one do? I know it like draws a card, and then you discard and then draw.
Yeah, the Spectacle cost is, or the Spectacle upside says, instead if you cast it for its Spectacle cost, discard your hand, then draw 3.
Oh, okay.
What's the most exciting card that came out with Ravnica Allegiance? That's a tough one.
Distinction. What format?
Yeah, because actually no, I have an answer because it's the card I want to play in like literally every format.
Vanathir?
Prime Speaker Vanifar. I'm playing that. She my girl. She an ooze.
Mm-hmm. She an elf. She a wizard.
She thick. She win the game if you untap.
Yeah.
Or give her haste in Commander. Thank you very much, Swiftfoot Boots. Thank you very much, Lightning Greaves. Thank you very much, Instill Energy or 1,000-Year Elixir.
Sure. You're going deep.
I'm not going that deep.
No, not that deep. Or,
have you read Instill Energy?
I have not. Yeah, Crossroads.
Have you read Instill Energy?
I
It
have
is
not.
Aura for a green. And it says, enchanted creature has haste. 0. Untap enchanted creature. Activate this ability only once each turn and only during your turn.
Okay. And it's for 1 green?
Yeah, it's a 1 green enchantment.
That's really good, actually.
Yes.
Other than the inherent in fact that auras are bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good one. Ooh, give me more questions.
Yep. All right.
I'm what about emergency powers? Catch me casting emergency powers in standard.
I think emergency powers is bad.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I do, but I had to disagree with you there.
Yeah, no. I think what color combo is going to make the most waves in standard?
Yeah, Esper is going to move up quite a bit on everybody's tier list.
Yep.
The Mardu Humans deck in Standard is also pretty big.
Yeah, there was no Mardu deck before. I think Teamer has possibility as well.
Yep. Sultai is probably the best deck right now. You're talking about Moist Golgari?
Yeah, Moist Golgari. That's actually what it is, because it's just Golgari splashing like 2 cards.
Yeah. How many Frilled Mystic does that deck play?
Esper Winter.
I don't think it's going to be that bad.
No. I played against an Esper deck on Friday and just ran